Good morning. It's Friday, May 10th, 2024, 3:30 in the morning. Just woke up and I keep waking up crying in the middle of the night. Of course, I started crying yesterday, like 4 times, I think, and today it's just been a lot worse. And of course, I'm about to lose my brother, Jimmy, in about 4 days. And I have figured some things out about myself and my brother, Jimmy. Especially my brother, Jimmy. And, you know, a lot of us who don't understand why Jimmy did what he did and why he does what he does and how he ended up where he's at and he's about to leave us and start his new life. And I don't want him to leave, but I don't have much of a say-so or a choice in any of that. But I always thought I knew my brother. And I don't think I ever knew him until like right now and today. Jimmy was exactly who he was. He didn't pretend to be anybody else. He was true to himself. He came to earth and he was exactly who he was supposed to be. Yeah, exactly who he was supposed to be, okay? He was definitely a gift to all of us. I see things so clearly now. It all makes sense. All of it makes sense. Jimmy makes sense to me now. His decisions make sense to me. All of it makes sense to me now. I get it. I finally get it at the end. So many things I just haven't been able to figure out in life. I'm pretty lost myself. I don't have everything figured out. I've definitely figured out some things in recent years, that is for sure, after I've destroyed relationships and chased love out of my life and wouldn't allow people to love me, and I've made so many mistakes I can't even count. Jimmy, he couldn't make it without us. He wasn't like us. He couldn't figure some things out. Some things were too complex for Jimmy. People have told me before, Frankie, you're Jimmy's leader. And I would argue with those people and I would thought they were crazy and none of that made sense to me. And I didn't want to be anybody's leader, but I was Jimmy's leader. I see that clearly now too. Every time I let him go, he never landed on his feet. Think about it. He's lived with all of us. He's lived with me a couple times. He's lived with Dad, my mom, Tina. I'm going to forget everybody. Matthew Wilcox twice. He lived with another Matthew one time. And other people. Because Jimmy needed to be with somebody. He needed to be included. He needed to be... He's a kid. He needed to be cared for, taken care of, protected, okay, like a child. Doesn't matter that he's a grown man. You know, maybe he didn't excel in his career, or he didn't accumulate material wealth, or whatever you want to call it. Who gives a shit about any of that stuff, right? Because you can't find anybody. I couldn't find any person. I couldn't find anybody if I wanted to that would say something bad about Jimmy or didn't like Jimmy or didn't love Jimmy. So in my view, that's a successful life. Yeah, he lived a successful life because everybody liked him and everybody loved him. He just needed someone to keep him on the path, and that person, it's crystal clear to me now, it was supposed to be me. It all makes sense. I could have, if I could go back 6, 7, 8 years, I could have got him on the right path with his health. I could have got him to exercise and do the right thing. I know I could have done it, and he would listen to me. I should have kept him close and should have kept him under my wing, always. You know, I'm not going to live a life of regret from this point forward. No, I'm going to honor my brother, okay? I'm going to do that. I'm not going to fall into depression and screw myself up too. No, I'm not going to do that. But Jimmy, we gotta appreciate who Jimmy was, and he wasn't like us, okay? He wasn't able to care for himself and provide for himself because he needed leadership, okay? That's what Jimmy needed from us. From everybody. Jimmy just needed love, and love. That's what he needed. He needed his family. He isolated himself because he probably felt like he failed his family. You know, I feel responsible for a lot of this. So, you know, ever since I let him go in 2017, I ran out of work for him to go, for work for him to do. He just never landed on his feet again, ever. And the same thing happened last time I let him go. In 2011 or whatever it was, I can't remember now, years ago. He didn't land on his feet then. He ran out of money and ended up homeless, living with friends and such. I get it now. I understand it now. Yeah. He wasn't like us. He couldn't figure out complex things like providing for himself and making a living. He couldn't figure those things out, okay? I don't know, you know, was it psychological? Was it fear-based? Did he fear rejection? Probably. Yeah, probably. He needed to be nurtured, taken care of, and led, okay? That was my brother, okay? And he shouldn't have been ridiculed for that. That's who he was. He was true to himself. Jimmy was exactly who he was. And you know, I wouldn't want him to change anything except I wish I treated him better. Yeah, a lot of people I wish I treated better. There's a pretty long list of people that hate my friggin' guts, okay? But I can't find one person that hates my brother's guts. I can't even find that person, so. I think my brother outlived me. Yeah, for sure. I know Mom and my dad and Anthony, they're going to hurt the worst. But me, I'm going to have a solid 4th place in line. I'm never going to get over this. The pain is never going to go away. But I'm going to honor my brother. I'm going to honor his memory. And I'm going to remember all the good things and the fun that we had together. Because there was quite a bit of that. Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of that. We had a bunch of fun. There's no doubt. I gotta tell my mom. I tell my mom on Tuesday. I gotta tell her about her son, my brother. So that's what I'm gonna do. I gotta get myself together, and I gotta be strong. Yeah. I gotta show some leadership now. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna go do. But I just encourage everyone to just really just ask the Lord to accept Jimmy, because I know he will. But there's no doubt. Jimmy needs to follow the light. He needs to follow the Lord. I know there's people waiting on Jimmy. I could name names. I know people that are waiting on Jimmy. Family members, friends that are waiting for Jimmy. They're going to greet him. We're definitely going to see him again someday. I have zero doubt whatsoever. I just wish I had more time here on earth. You know? If the Lord would grant a miracle, and, you know, he may say no. Things would be different. Immediately. I would make some immediate changes in my life. I know that. But I'm already going to do that. And I've already made a lot of changes in my life. I've given up so many things. I can't even say a bad thing to anybody ever. I can't even use mean words to people. When I argue and all that stupid nonsense. I don't even argue. I can't even force myself to get into an argument. I can't even force myself to be violent or use my hands or anything. I couldn't do it unless it was a life or death situation. I had to protect somebody. I've done a lot of growing up too. You know, Jimmy, he was as grown up as he could be. Okay? He's not like us. He was never like us. I think he was better than me for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. Just think he was a better person than me. Of course, I think I'm a good person now. I used to not be. I don't think I was very good, a good person. I'm always happy now. I'm always super friendly to everybody. I'm always super kind. Kindness is the number one thing for me. That's my priority in life now, is being kind to everybody. Even my enemies. Yeah, even my enemies. They could ridicule me and cuss me out and whatever. I'm not going to even engage in it. I won't do it. I can't do it. I'm at the point now where I can't even do it. So, you know, Jimmy, I don't know, I feel like I let you down, and I'm sorry for that. Wish I could undo a lot of things. I wish I could have pushed you on a path where you could have found happiness and health and enjoyment, because this world is truly, it can be miserable. I know. I've lived I hated my life for 9 freaking years. It took me 5 years to pull out of that. And Jimmy actually helped me pull out of that. He helped me pull out. I'm just starting to realize that. I mean, all of this is coming full circle for me. So, he helped repair me. Jimmy helped repair me, but I didn't help him repair himself. He was a good kid. Everybody loved him. Everyone will always love him. And that's what I think we all need to remember. And I'm just going to honor him, cherish him, and just, he going to be with me. I mean, every freaking minute of every day. the rest of my time here on earth, he's going to be with me. I'm proud of my brother. I'm not ready for him to leave. None of us are. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. We don't get to do over. We don't get to go back. We don't get to fix things. So, okay. I think I'm going to cut this off now and I'm going to try and get some rest. I know I'm not going to sleep, but I'm going to try. I got some things to do in the morning and some chores and such. And I'm supposed to have a good weekend with my mom and Sarah. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to celebrate life this weekend. And I'm going to do my best to feel good. Yeah, and just feel good and just have really good thoughts and just hold it together. But next week, I'll be a different story. I'm not going to hold it together. I'm not going to be able to. It's going to be a long time. Yeah. The mourning process is going to be a very long time. Probably forever. Okay. All right. I love you all, and I'm just going to do my best to be a better person. That's for certain. I do that every day, but I'm really going to kick it into overdrive best I can. Yeah. My brother set the example, so I'm gonna follow. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna talk later.